Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 120 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel. As it is the anniversary show, which means, of course, our main event for the tour of the final tour show will be Hiromu Takahashi, the heavyweight champion, taking on Chaz Gable, aka Chad Gable, as far as the junior heavyweight champion in a fun exhibition matchup to celebrate another successful year for New Japan. As God, we would be, let's see, in 2027, believe that would be 56 years, I want to say. Pretty sure that'd be 56 successful years. Either way, though, that main event, very, very fun match. I don't know how well it's going to do here in the save, but in real life, a Chad Gable, Hiromu Takahashi matchup, yeah, sign me up. That'd be pretty awesome. But that's the main event. Co-main event, though, is a hell of a matchup as well. It's for the Never Openweight title. Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada. Unreal. You know, this is going to be a big-time co-main. Another kind of matchup that's like, it's a main event anywhere in the world, but for here, you know, it's a co-main event. And, man, you know, it sucks that Okada and both, you know, him and Ibushi just are not the same. In real life, obviously, we know Ibushi is not the same anymore here in 2024. So at least that is accurate, but boy, Kazuchika Okada not being the same hurts my poor little soul. For the next matchup, New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup, the team that beat Bushi and La Sombra at the last episode, as far as at the, it was the final New Beginning show, so it was in New Beginning in Osaka. Tyler Black and Rob Eagles taking on the new Dragons, the new New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions in Hayata Tamura and Kyle O'Reilly. Should be a fun match. You know, that kind of makes a lot of sense as far as two heavyweights and Tyler Black and Tamura and two juniors and Robbie Eagles and Kyle O'Reilly. Never Openweight, 6-man. Forgot to put the 6-man part. Let's go ahead and add that. Never Openweight, 6-man. Tag team title matchup as the new champs. The new wave of strong style. In Atsushi Aowagi, Yuto Nakashima in Ryohei Oiwa, taking on the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, and a team that has already beaten Yuto Nakashima and Oiwa, the Velocities, Drew London, Paris De Silva, and Sonata. So that's going to be a huge matchup there as well. That should go over really well, even though the New Wave, they're a little rocky start. Actually, in the beginning, they were getting a lot of wins, but the ratings aren't really hitting. They hit a couple of losses during that New Beginning tour, but went on to win, of course, those Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles. So even though they are, as far as had a lot of obstacles thrown their way, and were coming out on the losing end of it for a good bit of that tour, they managed to pull it out in the end. So maybe successfully again they can get the win here and defend those titles successfully, or we'll see new champions in Sonata and the Velocities. The undercard matches: Juice Robinson and Pac versus the Order of Destruction. So, you know, again, the Juice-Pac tandem teaming up here, taking on Calvin Degman and Will Hobbs. Hobbs wanting some revenge here, so, as far as Tanahashi obliging that, making this matchup. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun little tag match. The Pac Juice team, it's a bit of a loose alliance, as far as of late, mainly just helping each other get title match victories, so I feel like, having a title match, a tag team matchup here against the Order of Destruction is a good way for them to really prove what they can do, as far as from that regard, if they're going to be a team in the future, or if the Order of Destruction are going to kind of break that up very, very quickly with some pain and punishment. Well, the next matchup, Francesco Akira and El Hiro del Airbender of Koji Kamai, taking on the Astronauts. Of course, Takuya Nomura, Fuminori Abe, as Astronauts versus Francesco Akira and El Hiro del Airbender. Very, very fun match. Takuya Nomura a little bit bigger than everybody else in this matchup, so he's got the size advantage and maybe using his heavyweight power and strength to get the win here. But yeah, it's good. Obviously, our co-main, Blast Off versus Koji Kamai. Felt like we need an undercard matchup with that. And also, we have a young lion going through the trial series as far as the last one we did, I believe, was Hayata Tamura. So kind of crazy thing it's been that long since we've had someone go on a trial series. Usually it doesn't really happen a whole lot, which is kind of why we keep it special for a lot of the kind of special talent, young lions. And I think Tsuneo Takedome's one of them. We're going to see the first match here coming up, actually. The very first Road to show we'll see. It's him and Lee Moriarty. So for the second one, it's him and Evil, which will be on the the final anniversary show. Big showing for Tsuneo Takedome to take on somebody like Evil. Obviously a step up from Moriarty. Evil, of course, former, as far as Intercontinental Champion, former Never Openweight Champion. I don't think we had him win the world title like he did in real life, but still, a guy that's had a lot of big wins throughout his career and is a big name for sure. So that's a huge, even in the second match, that's a huge get. So we'll see how the rest of his trial plays out. And the opening contest, since we're main eventing with Suzuki-gun versus Bomb Squad, or Squadu, as far as let's go ahead and fix that, as the Suzuki-gun versus Bomb Squad. The 6-man matchup, and Suzuki-gun's going to be Ashino, Claudio Castagnoli, and Fred Yehi, I believe, is the third man in that one in the Bomb Squad. Rush with Ryu Lee and Samurai del Sol, I believe. I don't think it's Demonic Mamba. It might be, though. It might be Demonic Mamba now I'm thinking about it. Either way, it's going to be a hell of a trios match and a hell of a way to kick off the show. Of course, former, tag team champions and Ashino and Claudio, and former junior heavyweight tag team champions in Ryu Lee, and a man who just had a heavyweight title matchup in Ryu Lee, opening up the show. And that's going to be a good anniversary show, actually. I think it's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be a really good show. We'll see how the ratings play out, but I'm excited to see how that main event plays out, mostly as far as a bit of a, I guess you can say a dream match, but a fun match to see as far as for a first-time meeting between those two. And without further ado, let's get on with the tour. First show here, as of course we already talked about the trial series, this first match in the trial series. That's going to be against Lee Moriarty. As we have a lot of backstage incidents. Don Marcotte was brought from Russell's court as he was accused of failing to pick up his share of the tab of the shared rental car. Just great, as Nakamura found him guilty and sentenced him to pay for his full cost, pay him, the full cost to reimburse his travel partners. Ball about some impact for him as Satoshi Kojima passes the microphone work to Tamura, and then Katsuri Shibata passes the microphone work to SB Kenta. So, as our main event, probably Hiromu and Jiro Kurashio against Suzuki-gun of Chaz Gable and Claudio Castagnoli, as Claudio's going to beat Kurashio. Really no surprise. Go-main, Kazuchika Okada and Yoshihashi against Kota Ibushi and Tetsuya Endo. So we'll see how Ibushi and Endo do as far as the former DDT aces there. So Endo and Kota Ibushi. Also going to have Tyler Black and Malachi Black against Tamura and Roderick Strong, as the Dragon's Den team will get the win. Tyler Black going to be beating, Roderick Strong's going to be beating Malachi Black. Don't even pick a loser. They should be smart enough to pick the right guy. Also going to have the Coughlin Connors team taking on the Lucha Brothers. Hell of a match here. So Ray Finnick's going to be beating Clark Connors. It's a little, build up with a fun little peace, love, and war battling out against Task Force Death. Maybe potentially something will happen there. As far as actually, let's change this. Because it's a little bit too good of a match, I think, for what we want this to be. I think we're going to go with Black Taurus and Black Taurus and John Silver instead. I think that makes a little bit more sense. There we go. As Coughlin Connors will get the win now. So we're going to have Coughlin beat Silver. There we go. Oh, it didn't register me hidden. House Coughlin with the win. Alrighty. Oh, let's go ahead and change that. There we go. Dark Order versus Peace, Love, and War. There. And then Shotaro Ashino and Takanori Ito against Mexa Blood of Ryu Lee and Samurai del Sol. Hell of a matchup here. So, Shotaro Ashino and Takanori Ito of Suzuki-gun will be getting the win, too, as Ashino's going to beat Samurai del Sol. This is a pretty jam-packed card, if we're being honest here. I think we're actually going to swap these. We're going to have the Ibushi, Endo, Okada, Yoshihashi match actually open up the show. Or not open up the show. It's going to be after the trial series matchup. Which, Lee Moriarty and Tsuneo Takedome. Which Moriarty will win. But a great showing for Tsuneo Takedome. As far as going 18 minutes with somebody like Lee Moriarty. I don't know why I hit match history for him. I should have hit match history like this. There we go. So first time meeting there. Obviously, we want to save some important matches for these trial series, and I think that's a great starting point for him. Take on somebody like like somebody of Lee Moriarty's caliber. So as far as our card is set, we'll probably have to run Shubu here. Fine by me. As far as the Ishikawa Sports Center will be close to a sellout. Be about 4,910 people, hopefully. We should be good to go on this perspective, yeah. Here we are. Suneo Takedome, a little too much overexposed, but that's alright. So 73 for Lee Moriarty in Suneo Takedome is the Taiga Driver 18 for Moriarty in 1746. Suneo Takedome with a 54. Again, for a young lion, that is very, very impressive. He is, boy, I cannot wait for his excursion to see how he does abroad. We'll probably be sending him to the States. Probably be for the best there. 72 for Kazuchika Okada and Yoshihashi against Suneo Takedome on the mind. Tetsuya and Endo and Kota Ibushi is. So Endo and Ibushi 64, 70 for Okada. Surprised Yoshihashi was even close to a 50. Moonsault press from Tetsuya Endo over Yoshihashi, and I'm honestly surprised that match even got a 72. Shocking. 79 for Coughlin Connors against Black Taurus and John Silver as the deadlift German suplex from Alex Coughlin getting the win in 2024. Silver, worst guy in the match, loses to the best guy in the match. Makes sense there. Excellent chemistry, of course, from Coughlin Connors. Nice to see that. 77 here from Tyler Black and Malachi Black against Roderick Strong and Hayato Tamura. 81s for Tamura and Tyler Black. Roderick Strong's a little bit better than Malachi Black. Gets the one with the stronghold in 2010. Yeah, Malachi Black, this is probably his last year with us as far as an active in-ring role. He's just, at 53, he's not going to cut it on an active roster spot. It's just not going to cut it. 87, though, for Ashino and Takanori Ito against Samurai Del Sol and Ryu Lee. Hell of a matchup here with Ashino beating Samurai Del Sol. Just slightly better as Ashino over Samurai Del Sol. Just kind of crazy, but there is the excellent chemistry, or actually not even excellent, just great chemistry of Mexa Blood and Ashino, though, getting the win. Nice to see that. At least he gets a win, and it's just kind of crazy. He only got a 79, but I think he's saving his rating and for the kind of big shows, which is great. That's what we need. 82 for our main event. Hiromu and Kurashio losing to Chaz Gable and Claudio Castagnoli as Claudio almost got outperformed by Kurashio. Not great, but he gets the win nonetheless with the neutralizer. And so actually a really good tour show. Everything light green and the light blue match as the co-main. That was actually a really, really good tour show. How about that? Shocking enough, this was better than that. Shout out to Takedome and Lee Moriarty. Having a good showing there. As on to day 2 of the Road 2 shows. I believe there's 3 Road 2 shows, and then the 4th one, of course, is the final show. So it's a pretty small tour, relatively to what we're used to seeing. So it should be a pretty nice and kind of compact episode. Alrighty, day 2. So as far as, these are actually going to be back-to-back, days 2 and 3. So it should be pretty straightforward stuff, because I believe it's almost the end of the month anyway, so, and I think that's on a Sunday, the final, anniversary show, so pretty straightforward stuff. Backstage incident for Tsutoshi Kojima and Hayato Tamura. Kojima passing on microphone work to Tamura. So we have an 8-man with Desires of Perfection in the new wave of strong style. We'll go ahead and just pencil that in as the main for now. Might be a better one, might not be. It really just kind of depends. But Atsushi Aoyagi going to get the win for the new wave of strong style. He's going to beat Tomoya Tom Ford. Then we're also going to have Los Ingobernables de Japón versus United Empire. Hell of a trios match here. This is probably going to be the main, because this is... Listen, these are 6 quality guys going at it. Gresham's going to get the win, too, for United Empire over Bushi. Shingo, that's right. He is, I forgot. Shingo's not here. But that's okay. Yotsuji is a fine fill-in. Perfect. Still a hell of a show. Or hell of a show. Hell of a match. We got Jay White and Drew Parker against Shinsuke Nakamura and Narita. This is the Technical Masterclass matchup as Jay White's going to beat Narita. So Nice win for the House of Torture. Prehistoric Barbarians and Eddie Kingston Shota Umino. So nice to see Kingston and Umino, even though they're teaming up here, and they get a win. As far as they've been getting some wins on Strong as well, like Kingston and Moxley. We just had them squash somebody this past New Japan Strong taping. I forget who. It wasn't Oscar and Oleg. I believe it was. It was Miro and Sugiura. That's right. It wasn't really a squash. It was more of a just a all-out kind of brawl for like 8 minutes type of thing. With Kingston getting the win over Sugiura. So they're getting a lot of wins throughout this tour. Then Coughlin and Connors against Baka no Komodo and Kyumatsu Kasai. So we have 2 Young Lion matches on this card. Being the tag match here, which this should be a pretty decent little tag match. Clark Connors getting the win. Then Ishimori beating Moroka Takato, who again is probably besides Tsuneo Takidome, probably the best Japanese side of Young Lions. Because I would say probably the second best is Don Marcotte after Tsuneo Takidome, but it might even be Moroka. We'll have to look and see here. But I believe, yeah, we're good to go. We just need to make sure the Technical Masterclass matchup follows these Young Lion matches. And we'll be good to go. Yeah. So yeah, we just ran Chubu, yeah, for the first night. Guess we can run it again, because it's going to be such a short tour. Probably be best to. We've had to have run. Yeah, but say that we gotta have a spot somewhere. See, that's 3,000. I want the 5,000. I thought there was one. Oh no, there's 4,000 here. That'll work. Yeah, 5,700. Oh, there we go. The Iwate Prefectural Gymnasium. Perfect. Alrighty. Going to be interesting. This is definitely not going to be on the same level as our first day. Especially with this opening contest. I mean, Ishimori did well. And so did Moroka, actually. 66, though, is not bad for a Young Lion matchup. Not bad at all. It's Bloody Cross from Ishimori getting the win in 10:08. It's crazy that Ishimori is still performing at a pretty high level. Here in the save, a 66 again. It's Coughlin Connors beating Kimatsu, Kasai, and Baka no Komodo. The Roar of the Champion from Clark Connors there. 2 teams with excellent chemistry. Decent little matchup. Well, it's poor, I guess, considering our standards. But for the undercard, I'd say it's a decent little matchup. A 77. Jay White and Drew Parker against Shunsuke Nakamura and Narita. Jay White, the Blade Runner, over Narita. Yeah, Narita still. It's kind of crazy how bad he is in this. We did everything we could. All those kind of. The Young Lions are on excursion during the start of this. And, their stats were all fucked up. We tried to fix it. And even then, it still hasn't given them a lot of, success. Which is just unfortunate. Because I like Narita. I like, him and Shota Umino and I bet obviously the Musketeers, but even before all that, when they were pretty much still on excursion, it was still like those guys are looking to be pretty talented. Yui Mora, and as far as just kind of is what it is, just sucks, but it's the way it goes. Unfortunately for them, a 69. Oof. That's what happens when Shota Umino and Carvanero are the best guys in the match, but it's still a good little match. We'll take a 69 for a tour show. It's Shota Umino with the Ineki Death Rider over Cavanero. Probably should have beat Caveman Oog, but that's alright. I just like that, as far as Cavanero and Shota Umino, they're kind of, as far as same weight, as far as being light heavyweights for the most part. Or light heavyweights. Fucking junior heavyweights. But, yeah, it's a good match, though. Good match. A 75 for our, as far as the trios match. We probably should add this main event instead of the 8-man that's coming up, but I mean, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Gulak and Yota Tsuchi with being in the 60s. Surprised I got outperformed by Bushi still. Shocking. But a good match from Sombra and Jonathan Gresham, Daniel Makabe. Gresham with the octopus stretch over Bushi as well. 67, yeah, Nibiru Shimatani with now some chronic shoulder pain, so that throws off the rating as well. Sonato and the Velocities did well. Iowa is almost in the 60s, but still got a ways to go. And now, Nibiru's injury really hurt him. And like the new wave strong style really need even more things to go against him. Now an injury to one of their best performers, just great, just great. It's chronic shoulder pain for him, and it was Parasite Silva who caused it. Yeah, that was definitely one to forget. As far as the Jay White and Drew Parker match against Nakamura and Narita was the best thing on the card. Did not see that coming. The main event almost got outperformed by the Young Lion matches. One injury fucked that all up. But now on to the next tour show, the final tour show of this episode. Hopefully nobody gets seriously hurt, especially that are going to be on the final show. That would definitely suck. Alrighty, the final tour show. Hey, no backstage incidents too. How about that? So we have a couple of singles matches as far as Suzuki-gun and Bomb Squad matches. Yeihai and Samurai Del Sol and Demonic Mamba and Takanori Ito. As I believe the Yeihai Samurai Del Sol one is the technical match class match. If it is, as Del Sol's going to win, you could probably guess who's going to win against Takanori Ito and Demonic Mamba. As Takanori Ito will be getting the one to steal the show matchup. As, so, 50-50 booking there. But also, they are, maybe Bamba might outperform Takanori Ito, but usually I would say the better of the two performers will be getting the win in those matches. The Young Lion matchup is Kato Crusher and Kota Umeda of Diamond K taking on Hideo Oka and Umeo Nakanawa, as Kota Umeda will be getting the win for Diamond K. Bomb Squad versus Suzuki-gun 8-man tag. So, unfortunately, actually, I wouldn't say unfortunately, because really, I think this is going to be a hell of an 8-man. Because Rush and Hiromu should do well. Ashino and Claudio should do well. We'll see what happens, but Suzuki-gun's going to get the win. His Hook's going to beat Yukira Shio to end it out. That is a hell of a win for Suzuki-gun. We have Brody King and Jay White against Jay White and Yui Uemea. Brody King's going to beat Uemea. Yeah, the worst guy in that matchup taking the fall there. And then Dark Order versus Peace, Love, and War trios match here. So, Juice with Coughlin and Barbaro Cabanero taking on Calvin Tankman, Will Hobbs, and Black Taurus. Tankman will be beating Alex Coughlin. Nice win. Nice win for Dark Order. And I think it's a good co-main as well. Oh, we'll see how it plays out. I think it's going to be a really good card. Definitely better than the last one that we saw. Day 2 is a bit of a step down for both days 1 and 3. So it's a nice little in the middle as far as how the schedule worked out. Nice to at least have some momentum going into the final show. As I believe, we'll run Kyushu for this one. It won't be a sellout, but be close to it. Be about 400 shy. A sellout, as day 3 starts off, both men, zero chemistry together. That is just brutal. It's Kota Umeda and Kato Crusher. They get the win. Thank God this match was somehow, it was bad, but that could have been even worse. That's crazy. What are the odds? That is a tough break there for the opening contest. So now this will suck. Samurai Del Sol getting with the Rising Sun. And 1945, tough break there. Hopefully the Steel Show match at least gets us back on track. Bamba did outperform him, but Takanori Ito gets the win nonetheless with the diving splash in the Steel Show matchup. That was a nice win. It's tough there, only a couple point difference, so could have went either way for both Fred Yehi and Samurai Del Sol. We could have the underdogs get the win on as far as having Yehi win and then having Demonic Bamba win, so at least it was the upset happened on the first matchup. But 71 for Shinsuke Nakamura and Yui Uemea taking on Jay White and Brody King as the Gonzo Bomb from Brody King over Uemura. Worst guy in the match, losing as far as Jay White, best guy in the match though here. Which makes sense, he would be pretty much still in his prime at this point. That's a good little performance. 79 for the trios matchup of Dark Order versus Peace, Love, and War. What a trios team this is for the Dark Order, as far as Hobbs, Tankman, and Black Taurus all doing pretty well for themselves. As Calvin Tankman pinning Coughlin after the Tankman driver. It's a good performance. It was actually a good little match. Might even be the best match on the card. Yep, did better than this. And Suzuki-gun beating the Bomb Squad and the 8-man tag is Hook, getting a submission victory over Kirishio. Hook was the worst guy in the match, but if this was in America, he would be way better. Just his performance levels never got to the point where they need to. This time in America, it helped him out a lot, but it kind of, as far as not being able to work elsewhere during that time, like if we were to do it again, the way we could send him to CMLL, even though him in Mexico would be very, very funny, but it would, he'd actually kind of low-key rule down there, because I think, first of all, ladies would love him. Second of all, I think what he could do technically with a lot of the kind of older luchadors would be pretty sick. Plus, with Taz kind of not really being like any type of work down there, he'd pretty much be a fresh you wouldn't have to worry about kind of people comparing him to Taz and doing all that. It'd be a fresh start for him, but, I mean, it's a good match, though, with Ashino and at least Hiromu doing well, and, Hiromu and Chaz Gable should be a hell of a match, though, which we'll be seeing very, very shortly. So that will do it for the tour shows. It's on to the final show we go. Alrighty, so we kick off the show as far as the 55th anniversary. I was close. Couldn't do the math in my fucking head, because I'm a big dummy, but, the Bomb Squad, Suzuki-gun, the Trios matchup, 93. Actually did really well. Suzuki-gun struggled a little bit. Shino was the best guy in the match. He was not all in the finish, though. It's Fred Yehai. Demonic Bombo, he was the worst guy overall. He loses to Fred Yehai's Koji Clutch, 20-36. So a nice win for Suzuki-gun. Will it be their only win tonight, though? Can Chaz Gable beat Hiromu? We'll find out in our main event. As Tsuneyo, Takudome, and Evil. Tsuneyo Takudome almost outperformed him. What a win, though, for Evil, with Everything is Evil. I don't know how this got a 70, to be honest, but we'll gladly take it. Honestly, very, very impressive of Tsuneyo Takudome. I mean, it's a really good performance for somebody that's only a couple of years into his career. Yeah, I mean, his second trial match. Loses to Evil, but a valiant effort, though. 87 for Francesca Kira and El Hero del Airbender against the Astronauts, as the Francesca Kira El Hero del Airbender team get the win. It's Airbender pinning Takuya Nomura with a 630. So big win there as Airbender, Fumino Arabe, for best guys in the match. Francesca Kira a little bit better than Takuya Nomura, probably because of the excellent chemistry. So overall, good shit from that tag match. Very, very impressive. Speaking of impressive, a 98. Holy shit. The Order of Destruction. They beat the Juice Robinson Pac team. And I think, with Pac in this matchup, you see Pac is not really so gung-ho about teaming up with Juice. Basically coming across like he basically used him, and it's, he's showing his true colors where he just doesn't really value Juice Robinson and doesn't really help him out. Really, this is just a match where Will Hobbs and Calvin Tankman just take turns beating the shit out of Juice Robinson for about, I'd say 12 minutes of this match. almost half of the match is just the Order of Destruction beating the ever-loving shit out of him. So 85 for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup, as the New Wave of Strong Style retain their championships, as the Atsuki Aoyagi, Oiwa, Yuto Nakashima team get the win, even though they got severely outperformed in their first defense, thanks to Atsushi Aoyagi pinning Paris de Silva in 22:59. What a win. Paris de Silva, though, outperformed Sonata, which is crazy. And he was involved in the finish. He didn't even complain about it. Jude London did. That's why we changed it. That's wild. That's very, very wild. Shout out the Velocities, man. They've come a long way to now Paris de Silva almost in the 90s. It's an 87 from the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup, as Tamura and O'Reilly retain as they beat Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles, even though they got outperformed. It was relatively close, though. Even with Tamura and O'Reilly's excellent chemistry, man, Tyler Black and Robbie Eagles, hell of a team. It's their first defense, though, as the Hayato driver from Tamura over Robbie Eagles gets the win nonetheless, and Tamura's looking good. A lot of, as far as Tamura and Tyler Black, these guys looking to have a great showing come the New Japan Cup, and this is a great way to get some momentum on this anniversary show, and Tamura looking like $1 million here. 77. What's crazy is this is the first time we've run this match in the save. For 7 years, damn near. We've never done an Okada-Ibushi singles match. We do it here, and it's a 77. It's Kazuchika Okada beats Kota Ibushi with the Haiju Bomb. One of the worst matches on the show. Insane. Insane. but two of the biggest stars that we have, obviously from kind of the yesteryear stars, which is so weird to think. But as far as Ibushi and Okada, thought they'd have a much better match. It's crazy that Ibushi, I mean, it's not crazy because you look at what Ibushi's doing right now in the year 2024. He's not looking like the Kota Ibushi of old, so I guess that is pretty accurate to what he's doing. But it just breaks my heart seeing these two have a singles match. And I mean, listen, Okada, he's gotten some big wins. This is his worst match so far of his reign. He's had some good matches along the way. This is definitely one of the worst ones. But our main event is luckily a pretty good matchup in '89. As Hiromu with the time bomb in 27:32. Hell of a match though with Chaz Gable and Hiromu. Lack of psychology again. So Hiromu just doesn't have any psychology. It seems like in all of his title matches, he seemed to get doinked with that. Post-show press conference for Hiromu first. As far as asked about what's he gonna do, as far as when he was the champion, of course, the first time he won the New Japan Cup, and that's how he became the heavyweight champion. So this is kind of unseen territory for him as far as being the heavyweight champion, waiting, and he jokes about being in the lab. As far as him being a what he's gonna cook up, as far as him and Daryl have some big plans. So he's just kind of going on a bit of a Harumu-esque tirade where he's just spouting off nonsense, where everyone just kind of jotting down what he says, even though it's just words of a madman, if you will, as far as almost the words of a manifesto. So Kazuchika Okada is the next person with the post-show press conference. For him, it's more of, he asked President Tanahashi to give him the toughest test that he can, as far as, people didn't think that he was championship material, thought he was over the hill, all those things. Basically what Konosuke Takeshita was talking to him about, and how he feels he's still, this strongest version of himself, as far as the wise wisdom of what he's learned throughout the years. He's used that as well as in his craft, as far as what he could do physically. It feels like he's untouchable. And that he even says, listen, these guys are lucky that I'm not in this New Japan Cup, or I would win the whole goddamn thing. So he's feeling really confident. Obviously, he wouldn't say that because now he's a monk, so he's very not saying all that as far as the last part. But, as far as he does think if he would have been in this New Japan Cup, he would win the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, so far as that's for Okada. As Juice, kind of looking back at, his Peace, Love, and War, but he's like, where the hell was everybody at? As far as Pac was as, helpful as a wet noodle out there, just let me get my ass kicked for 20 minutes, but, Will Hobbs, Calvin Tankman, sure you guys had your fun, but come the New Japan Cup, Calvin Tankman, listen, I already beat Will Hobbs, I'm going to beat your ass, and you better hope none of the other Dark Order buddies are going to show up, because I know my soldiers of war, I'm going to having explicit in exact instructions to make sure that they will not make sure I walk out of that arena. As far as I'm not sure where we're going to be at, so we're going to walk out of that arena still the U.S. champion. So for Juice, it is kind of looking and seeing the writing on the wall. It's like maybe Pac used him, maybe as far as his teammates, stablemates, if you will, set him up. And as far as for failure. But, as far as he gets a little, basically kind of letting him kind of gain some heat back and kind of also hype up the, as far as the title match with him and Tankman. That'll be happening on the final New Japan Cup show. As then we have a video package here as far as on the grounds of the new Antonio Inoki Super Arena, as far as still being built in Yokohama, Japan. We went with that because Inoki was born in Yokohama, Japan, so I just felt like that was kind of a good kind of tie-in to have it be in Yokohama. So the Inoki Super Arena should fit, and what the plan is to be 125,000 people. I hope we can sell that out. It would be pretty close. It'd be pretty cool. Obviously, that's a huge jump from 80,000, which is what we're capped at right now. Would be pretty awesome. Would be pretty awesome. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see how it all comes together. But basically with this video, it's Tanahashi in like a hard hat, just there as far as there's a lot of construction going on, and hyping up what's going to happen. So the G1 finals happening at that Inoki Super Arena. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be, as far as hyping that up. So that's, I just feel like that's definitely a thing Tanahashi would do. Would just, like, hard hat, looking like construction man Tanahashi as the president. Like he's, overseeing things. It would just be a goofy little package of, like, showcasing, like, maybe even having him, like, getting, like, one of the crane operators. That'd kind of be fun. And, everyone kind of going, like, ducking their heads, like, oh no. The Ace is at the helm. Just, I don't know. I just feel like Tanahashi's good at that type of stuff. But, yeah, that will do it for this episode and for the anniversary show. I went better than anticipated. I didn't even think Hiromu and Chasuke would be in the 80s, but kind of crazy to think the best match was a tag match between the Order of Destruction and Juice and Pac. So shout out them. Shout out Tsunev Takadome for having a really good performance. Actually, to give him a hug. I mean, listen, I don't even think Hayato Tamura was doing those types of ratings in his trial series. He's an actual fucking person. Here's a regen doing some pretty incredible stuff. Trying to think who else. I mean, Hiromu did deserve, I think, some love for his performance. And, Tamura as well. He was great in his title match. He's going to be definitely an odds-on favorite to win it. Especially, him, Tyler Black. As far as Konosuke Takeshita for sure. Hell, Kenta, even. At his age, he made it pretty far last year. It's going to be a pretty interesting field, because there's going to be some top-level dudes. You see that Tankman is not going to be in it, because he's going to have the U.S. title matchup, so potentially Will Hobbs, he made it to the finals last year. Maybe he'll win it all this year. As far as trying to think who else we can, Jay White, somebody to watch out for still. As far as Suzuki-gun's Shotaro Ashino's a guy, obviously, to watch out for still. I don't know if Zack and Volta are going to be in it since they're the tag champs. Still kind of on the fence about that. But, that will be the next episode, and it'll be marking another year in the save. God, how many shows has it been here? It's got to be over 1,200. Almost 1,300. Jesus Christ, 1,333 shows, to be exact. Crazy. Crazy where we once were. Half these guys on this side are either gone or retired. Literally everybody that's involved in the match is either no longer here, retired. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Wow, a lot has changed. A lot has changed from March 2020 to March of 2027 here in the save. But that will do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for the New Japan Cup. Take care, everyone.